You can hear the emergency in the air. It's New York. We're live from the East night, baby. Friday night in East Village. I guess it's gonna probably take a while to for this fucking thing to come over. Okay, I just want to get a shot. I want to get a shot of me with the lion. There it is, the poetry lion. Protecting poetry from bros. Protecting poetry from bros. Okay, so I'm just getting off work here, and God, it's beautiful out, and it's Friday night. I hope people are out doing stuff. I hope my fan base is out doing stuff. I'm sure they are, but you know, for those who are staying home, I respect that choice as well. Getting older, learning to love and understand the value of just staying home. I just want to get away from this fucking siren for a second, for a hot minute. Just get me away from this fucking siren for a fucking hot second, okay? Alright, maybe I'll walk up. So I'm going to walk around the East Village a little bit. I'm always walking around the West Village, you know. You'd think eventually I'd get around to coming over here. So let's do it. Home of poetry, home of avant-garde poetry. Here we are at St. Mark's Church, the Poetry Project, where I'm a videographer. I was filming the live streaming. You may have watched the live stream. You just go straight from one. This is the post-game. This is the post-game recap show of the Friday night reading. This is the Hills after show hosted by Dan Levy, where we recap what happened on the Hills and, you know, deconstruct our fan theories and shit. My God, East Village is the home of. You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb. This is gonna sound sexist. And this is gonna sound male gaze. I think the East Village might be per capita the hottest neighborhood on planet Earth. It's got to be somewhere in New York City. I definitely think New York City is the hot. It's got to be. There's no way. Maybe Paris. Maybe now that every like Instagram, you know, pretty privileged chick like wants to like be Emily in Paris. Paris has kind of superseded New York as the ultimate fantasy playground for your life movie. I saw it was top 10. Ooh, baby, that's just what we need is another Five Guys. I saw 12th Street Ale House. That's where poetry really goes down, at 12th Street Ale House. That's where it really all happens, is at 12th Street Ale House. I've learned more at 12th Street Ale House. More good shit has happened for me at 12th Street Ale House than probably anywhere else. I've had better conversations. I've learned more at 12th Street Ale House probably than anywhere. Yeah, I saw, what was it, top 10 coolest neighborhoods in the world by, I forget who the fuck made the list. There it is, the iconic 12th Street Ale House, to use everybody's favorite fucking word. I love partying in East Village. When I first got to New York, that's really what made me fall in love with New York. I mean, you know, I'd come to New York a few times before that. I've been to Little Italy, you know, Chinatown, Nolita, Central Park, all that. But the East Village, going to St. Dimphnis on St. Mark's when it was still on St. Mark's, there was just something different about it. I don't know what it was. There was a magic in the air. The snow, when it used to snow in New York. New old city chimes. You know, there's like this kind of blueness. There was this feel, I guess that was a pre-smartphone thing. There was this kind of fuzzy blueness. And it, you know, I mean, the first couple years I came to New York, it fucking pounded with snow. I mean, there was a fucking blizzard every weekend. I was just like, bam, here's some more fucking fresh powder. And it was hard. It was cold. You know, I was adjusting to this kind of new lifestyle, walking everywhere. I didn't really understand that. And I had a job where I was on my feet all the time, but going into St. Diphnus, it was like right before New Year's, I think 2008 maybe, 2007, 2008. I mean, that was really when I fell in love with New York. In the East Village, I didn't even know really what it was, you know. It really meant nothing to me. But the East Village, I'd say, I don't know, it's just been the territory kind of my rise to power. Like Vito Corleone, it's manga, it's lore. It's all just lore at this point. Lana Del Rey married an alligator. What do you think that's about? I do want to talk about this because it feels just like an affectation. It just feels kind of like she's using the guy. Or it's just like, it's lore, it's a side quest. She's after, I don't know, his realness, his manliness. He's this fucking alligator hunter. You know, she worked like in a Waffle House. You know, that was sort of a viral moment for a second where Lana Del Rey, like was a waitress in this fucking Waffle House. I think she just has really, really, really good PR people. Like, honestly, that's just like the best piece of PR I've ever seen. The fact that, like, that sort of was suddenly viral. And I don't know, it was just like a cred thing. It's like, oh my God, she's so cool. Lana, oh my God. Of course she's going to be like a waitress in a Waffle House and like marry this alligator hunter dude. She's just so real. She's so original. Well, it's just like... it's like got this sociopathic detachment. Like she's just using... I don't know. I feel like... we are just utilities to women. They just use us. They want a tall guy so that he can reach stuff high on a high shelf. Or he's just a workhorse. I don't know. We're just accessories. It's like they want the handbag, they want the restaurant. We're all just sociopathic narcissists. Trying to live trying to be, I don't know, the coolest, the most popular. I mean, I think Lana Del Rey is like chasing experience. You know, she went to boarding school. You know, she's just another fucking like affected rich kid who like sort of created this persona. I mean, I do think Lana Del Rey is probably one of the artists of the last 10, 15 years that will stand the test of time. Her music does have kind of a timeless quality. It kind of sounds like it could have been made in any decade in a way. And she really is good at creating this kind of mysterious persona through shit like this, right? They've got like these fucking like helicopter, or like Julia Fox. Do people follow Julia Fox at all? How like, apparently Julia Fox's audiobook is just like insane. She was the one who was married to Kanye. Or were they married? They just dated. She was like Kanye's rebound from Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian. So she was Kanye's rebound. So she just has this, you know, she's just like living this kind of crazy, like using her hot girl privilege to get into these kind of nutty situations. There's, you know, and her audiobook is just like, it's hard to believe because it's so great. It's like she ordered these Peruvian cockroaches from Amazon and they exploded all over them. You know, it's just like, is this what happened to hot girls? They just get into insane fucking situations all the fucking time. Like, oh my God, I'm dating. Oh my God, I'm Josh Safdie's muse for Uncut Gems. You know, it's like my life is so crazy. Side quest lore. And so the East Village, I don't know, it's just full of these hyper professional. Now it's like a big sorority house. There's too much sorority energy. There's too much like den mother. I mean, you see that. I've always seen that in New York, but it's like, when the fuck did the East Village just become like Florida State University, Delta? When did it become Rush Week? in the East Village? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm on First Avenue here. It's rush week. I'm pledging to Delta Phi Avenue B. There's a hazing ritual. It's like Animal House, but seriously, like when I was over at Patchen Place the other day, I was like looking into because I could kind of see some people were up in the apartments. I'm just like, who lives here? I'm curious. They got like a full bar. It looks like a fucking frat house that I went to at like Ohio State. It's just like bare bones, no taste, kind of interior decoration. It's built for drinking. That's all these fucking people care about. Getting together on the weekends, watching sports, drinking, and fucking. It's just it's just so weird to me how this energy, I don't know if I follow it. I just have the same interests as these people, I guess. How can this be? Even in Columbus, Ohio, it's like I lived in the fucking short north. It was full of like yuppie frat douchebags. Now I'm in New York in the era of yuppie frat douchebags. It's like, what is this? Where did these people live 70 years ago? That's what I want to know. Like, did they live in the East Village in the 1950s? I don't think so. I think they lived in Westchester or fucking Winged Foot or something. Right? I mean, they were like, why are all these like bankers want to live in the filthy Jewish ghetto, little Ukraine, or the Puerto Rican, I don't know. It's like, the mentality of like boomers is like, oh, New York's filthy, it's dangerous, it's disgusting, it's crime-ridden, it's dirty. How many times I've heard people talk about how dirty New York is? Oh, I like Toronto better. It's not as dirty. It's like, I don't know. I don't think New York is... I mean, that's part of the aesthetic. But I don't, I guess I'm just such a sloppy person that just feels like my bedroom. I'm messy. Being around a big mess makes me comfortable. Yeah, so here we are at I think they're trying to make... this was St. Dimphna's. So this is where I first felt magic. I mean, New York is all magic all the time, but like coming to St. Mark's Place on like close to New Year's Eve, winter, it was blue, going into St. Dimphna's, I met these people who had like been partying on some island in Greece. It was like one of the first kind of truly like worldly, and it felt, I don't know, it just was so atmospheric. I felt like I was in Poland or something, I don't know. It felt like ancestral. The kind of snowflakes and the blue dusk light, the drinking, the warmth of the tavern. New York has all these great old bars. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Shit's not that old. Something like McSorley's. Even this whole motherfucking street. So I think they want to turn St. Mark's into Dime Square. If you notice, I don't remember there being out like fucking people dining in the street on St. Mark's ever. This is something they've started to do recently. I think because of the popularity. Dime Square is like this al fresco dining plaza. When I first came to New York, this was a 50% sushi place. You get sushi rolls 50% off. It was full of cyberpunks, 90s raver type looking people, interesting, cool, old people. I don't know where they went. When I first moved to New York, it was like Bright Eyes lived in the East Village. It was like, holy shit. Fucking Bright Eyes lives on the Lower East Side somewhere, or whatever the fuck his name is, Connor. This Starbucks, I think, was a pizza place.
Pizza place!
That's right. And now it's a fucking Starbucks on Avenue A. Now this fucking place, I don't know, it's some kind of douchebag, like Instagram taco place. This is Superiority Burger now, but this used to be some kind of fucking, what was it, Odessa or something. Like so it was like super cheap, breakfast. This is St. Dimphnus now. They moved St. Dimphnus. It's got the same kind of design and shit. It's amazing how in New York they can do that. Like a place goes out of business and then they like move around the corner. They paint the sign back on. They use the same colors, whatever. It's like, oh shit, it's the same fucking place. So yeah, on that same trip, we were in the East Village and I saw fucking Kirsten Dunst on this corner, 7th and A. She was getting into a cab, I think, from Niagara. And then this place, Lily's, this was 7A. This was like the hub for people from Columbus, Ohio. Everybody from fucking Columbus, Ohio, like worked here, or Grandview, like they worked here, they fucking... This place used to be 24/7, all the fucking time it was open. And I remember going in here, you could get a shrimp burrito. They had this shrimp burrito thing with sweet potato fries. It was like healthy, delicious. There was a lot of places in the village like that back then. Cheap, vegetable, almost like health food, but like a restaurant. Like you could sit down, there'd be a waiter. So you could come to 7A at 4 o'clock in the morning, get a fucking shrimp burrito for $10 with sweet potato fries, tip included. There was tons of fucking places like that kind of catered to young artists, young poor people. Jaffa Cafe was like that. Cafe Pick Me Up was like that. Now it's just blank fitness and a bunch of yuppie shit for people who want to score credit card points. People like these guys. People want to, get Citibank reward points for their fucking purchase power. I'm not fucking... that's also something that I bemoan amongst the arts and among poetry is like, New York, there was a place here and it was a city that sort of catered to people that didn't have money. You could go to 6th Street, all these Indian restaurants, get the Obama lunch special for $6. This amazing soup, chicken korma, banana pakora, a 3-course fucking meal for $6. You'd have a person wait on you. You could be out of there, tip included, for under $10. And you're sitting in this cool, atmospheric fucking place in the East Village. Now it's like, what, Miss Lily's? This is some kind of like banker jerk chicken place. It's like, I don't know, Instagram fucking... It looks like it should be in California. Everything just looks like... It's not like some beat-up, soulful fucking place. It's like... It sucks. But what are you going to do? So, I don't think this place is 24/7. That whole culture is just gone. Like, fucking if 7A was still there, I'd go to 7A after the fucking open mic on Monday. I mean, you would go in there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was packed. The neighborhood wasn't just full of a bunch of workaholics or students or whatever. People who want to just binge watch a bunch of bullshit on their giant flat screen TV walls. Or, I don't know, hook up off Tinder and binge drink. It's like everybody here is just like such a fucking recreational athlete drinker. It's like they're the Travis and Taylor people. It's like they went to these big business schools where they watched fucking college football, whatever. It's like East Village, it's supposed to be for poets, artists, poor people. Here you go. That used to be Sidewalk Cafe right here. Now it's Offside. Look, they're watching some giant fucking football game. They got some giant football wall. It's called Offside. Offsides. It used to be Sidewalk Cafe. They had an open mic every Monday. They'd get like 60 fucking people signed up. I mean, it was ridiculous. And it was amazing. It was this big portal into culture in New York where it's just like you'd see all these people starting out, sharing music, students. There's too many fucking students. I think that's one of the big problems. You know, is like NYU has just fucking taken over. And these are rich kids. It's $100,000 a year to go to fucking NYU. And so, you know, the richest of those kids are gonna fucking, here's Club Cumming, baby. Maybe we should go to Club Cumming. I love Club Cumming. I think that's the coolest thing. I think that is so dope that fucking Alan Cumming is like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a fucking bar, name it after myself. I mean, it's just the nature of the East Village in New York. Who knows how many times these places have turned over? You know, it's like shit doesn't last here, and probably now more than ever. You know, it's just like things are not designed for long-term success unless they're grandfathered in, they're rent controlled. Everything is, it's like pop-up shop. You know, we're just supposed to get used to that. Like, oh, I can afford to have a store for 2 months, so I'll enjoy it while it lasts. But like, there's no longevity outside of your ability to make a shitload of money. And the problem is the real estate market is distorted by these policies that are keeping these businesses empty. You know, things that go up for lease, there's all these empty storefronts, there's perfectly good businesses that go out of business. It's like, that's bad for New York. Part of what I'm talking about, right, is like, that's what made New York interesting, was like, even though it was the biggest city in the world, it was full of these mom and pop small businesses. You know, it had that scale. It had this huge scale where it's this giant enterprise of all these people and activity and, you know, competition, I guess. But it was made of small businesses where it's like, if you're an immigrant, you can move to New York, you can start whatever, a restaurant, whatever the fuck it is. You know, if you're Ed Sanders, you could have a bookstore in the East Village. That's just not the case anymore, right? And yet, I guess what drives me nuts about it, right, being somebody who is living here but who's not rich, not having things paid for, not able to afford, you know, this kind of like lifestyle that people have where they're traveling or blah, blah, blah. And, you know, there's like this fucking uniformity of opinion and comfort and just sort of like where nobody talks about these things. Nobody talks about class. You know, we have this sort of like tourist community of people that come into New York for a few years and they leave. Or they're students and then they leave, or they live here, you know, they Airbnb something, or they live here for a few months, or an influencer, or whatever the fuck. So there's no long-term commitment. You know, you saw that during the pandemic. When shit hit the fan, all these people just pulled up stakes and left. They're not really committed to this place. They just want to party. You know, and New York is kind of the most convenient, best place. So like I was saying earlier, I mean, it's like New York has got to be the hottest city in the world. It just has to be. All of the hot women from the entire world come here, and they all live, you know, in proximity to, like, you know, they all have expensive apartments that their boyfriend pays for or something. That's one thing Peter Glissman was saying. He hooked up with some 29-year-old in Jersey City. Before the girl had sex with him, the first thing she said, she's like, pay for my apartment. Like, he can't afford that. He's not that fucking rich. Where do I want to go here? I'm going to go back up and back and down and over. Should I go over to Avenue C? Let's go over to Avenue C. I never go over there. Let's go over to Avenue C. Let's see what that's about. When I first got to New York, my friend Anna lived on 7th and D. So I'd like go to her apartment, you know, on the weekend. We'd party in the East Village. There was this guy, our friend Ashley was dating this guy, Adam or something. He was like a bartender. He'd lived in New York for like 10 years. He was from Ohio. I think he was in New York on 9/11. He didn't go to college. He just moved to New York. And he was a film editor. He worked on Short Bus, the John Cameron Mitchell, like the controversial sexual John Cameron Mitchell movie. And so this guy was like, whoa, he's like this badass. He was like, he's over 30. It's like, Jesus Christ. He's a bartender in the East Village. He's a film editor. He worked with John Cameron Mitchell. Like, wow. He's, that kind of shit was intimidating. Or like, I had these friends in high school who made a movie, their first movie, and they got this guy, Rick Rossovich, from, I think he's in Roxanne with Steve Martin. I forget what the fuck else he's in. He's in some Tom Cruise movie or something. Rick Rossovich. He was like kind of a big actor in the 80s. And so it was like, whoa, fuck, they got this real movie star. Rick Rossovich is in their fucking movie. It's like, wow, our world was so small from where I came from, Like, we were so far removed from that kind of shit. There wasn't like famous people. There wasn't celebrities. There wasn't... So something like that at the time was like, oh my God, these guys are so cool. They got Rick Rossovich to be in their fucking movie. And now it's like, or like my one buddy, who's a super great filmmaker. He lived in LA for like 8 years before I moved to New York. He was like one of the heads of he was on the jury or something of the Los Angeles Film Festival, which at the time sounded like, holy shit. This guy's like a big deal. He lives in LA. He's like the head of this fucking film festival. I guess what I'm saying is like, I don't know. If you stay in New York, if you stay in these places long enough, like you become one of those people. You can become one of those, not that I'm Rick Rossovich, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's not easy to even live in New York for 10 or 15 years. It's like that, even that in and of itself. Like a lot of people, they can't take it. They can't hack it. It kicks their ass and they leave. They don't like it. Or they meet somebody, they get engaged and they leave to go have kids, to go have a family. If you stay here around the age 30, 35, all your friends start to like get engaged and leave. They've been in New York. They've gotten their fill, and they go to have families in some city where it's cheaper, where they can buy a house, blah blah blah, near their family probably. So they get it out of their system. They come to New York. They get it out of their system. It's like, should I have done that? That's the natural cycle of things. And like I said, New York is just it's harder. It's not designed for you to have like this long residence anymore. It's like, unless you're ready to live in, one of the other boroughs, if you're willing to live in Queens or further out, that's a different story. Even though that shit's not cheap either, at this point, all of America is fucking expensive. So it's like, Manhattan is unattainable. It's so fucking expensive that it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's got this like blind spot. There's no self-awareness in Manhattan because like everybody's rich, everybody's hot. It's just like everybody's. So it's like there's no class consciousness. Like nobody gives a fuck because there's only one class of people. There's rich people. There are no fucking poor people that are like, oh, let's, Occupy Wall Street was really the last thing where it was like a bunch of working class people sort of led the fucking charge. The circumstances have probably purposefully gotten to the point more and more where it's like these major gathering places in person like New York, they don't want there to be like a working class movement here. They don't want like there to be that kind of solidarity. They don't want a bunch of socialists in each village like it's 1920 or whatever, making pamphlets and. Although I guess that's what happens maybe at NYU, this sort of like pseudo radical. So that used to be. This was fucking Alphabet Lounge. Right here. Now it's called Joy Face. Somehow Avenue C is like. I don't know, all of the really sorority. Avenue C is like this weird secret where it's like you kind of have to go past Avenue B And there's all these like fucking clubs on Avenue C where it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, 40 years ago, it was like if you would get killed if you went on Avenue C. Like, they would stab Whitey. They would stab Whitey if you came on Avenue C. But now it's like
had COVID not
like I said, where would these people have been 50 years ago? Would they live on the Upper East Side? They live uptown someplace? They'd be hanging at TGI Fridays. I don't talk to anybody. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but I you have to ignore fucking homeless people that approach you on the street. Yeah, so this was the Alphabet Lounge. There was actually, I think, one of the first wavetable gigs was at Alphabet Lounge. I forget how I got it. I think I got it off some fucking email ring or something. And there's actually a live recording. I guess that's not that hard to believe, but I think it's even on the internet. It's pretty good. Psychopathic Nonconformist was recorded live at the Alphabet Lounge, and there was probably like, I don't know, 6 or 7 people there. It was not that well attended, but I don't know. It felt important to do music. Those kind of places like cease to exist, like Alphabet Lounge. As you can see now, it's like some kind of champagne fucking club. It's like some kind of bottle service fucking like frat bar for the worst people on earth. The modern day colonizers. I mean, you want to talk about colonizers, like there they are. A bunch of like airhead white people who went to Florida State or, Penn State or Ohio State or Michigan State or Iowa State. And they majored in marketing. They just majored in stealing people's money. Like, there is a lot of discourse on the left about, class inequality or socialism or blah, 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 democratic socialism. It's like, those are the hyper-capitalists, and they're winning. They own New York. They own fucking everything. They're making the decisions for all of us as far as, like, and New York, the West Village, the rents are skyrocketing. This sort of like weird normification. It's like all of these like fake tan, blonde, like Southern, I don't know. Like I said, I'd go to fucking McFadden's on Ohio State campus, or Ugly Tuna Saloona, and these people would be there. Or I'd go to Pint House, Short North Pint. They took over the Short North too. I don't know. I guess it's weird. Do they have aesthetic? Like, why are they interested in the East Village? Because of what? Punk rock, or why? What is it? Why do the worst like white supremacist normie fucking people want to live in the West Village? This like gay utopia of like anarchists, avant-garde. It's like, why? Why do they want to live there? Why now? Why didn't they? Or is this just another phase? I mean, New York is so old. Maybe it's only a century or two that the village has been sort of this radical immigrant place. Maybe before it was some kind of rich people farm or something. Like, right? Didn't people move to the West Village sort of from downtown as it was almost like their country house or something. They're going to move to Bank Street. Where am I?
Hello.
There you go. Yeah,
hello.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. People get so excited by the live stream. I don't know why. I'm glad. I mean, there's very few things that I'm capable of that are going to make somebody that excited. Just some stranger, So, I don't know why. I guess it's still, it's still new. I'm, one of the few, the brave, out here doing this on Friday night, bringing you live. Think of if I would have had this, if I would have had this 10 or 12 years ago when I was doing cold approach stuff. Holy shit! Could you imagine live streaming cold approach? Live streaming, like just going out and talking to people. That's probably what I should do. I probably should cold approach people and just talk. I should just do live interviews during my stream. Maybe I'll get into that. But right now, it's like the city is more. It's like a backdrop. I want it to be like those American Splendor cartoons. There's these great Crumb cartoons where he's like walking through the big city. It's like. Did you hear that? Guy said he wants to kill his mom in like some kind of like pop punk emo sad boy voice. Okay then. This is St. Bridget Church from Hymns to St. Bridget, the Frank O'Hara, Bill Berkson collaboration. It's a really cool book if you can get your hands on it. Hymns to St. Bridget for all my poetry. There it is. St. Bridget's steeple and shit. Is it raining? Is that what's going on here? Is that what I'm feeling? Maybe I'll get my umbrella out. I'll have my selfie stick in one hand, my umbrella in the other. Yeah. So yeah, Crumb's got these like comics where he's like walking through the city. You see like the buildings in the background and his kind of profile. And of course, Harvey P. Carr. My goal is to be the Harvey P. Carr of New York City. Although, New York's not really the kind of place I don't think that breeds like a Harvey P. Carr. So much of his stuff is sort of about, I don't know, being a misanthrope or cantankerous or an underdog or and just, I don't know, a kind of like beauty in the suburban Cleveland, It's like, this is something that I struggle with. It's just like the identity of being from Ohio and Cleveland specifically is just such a like downer of a place. It's like they're famous for losing, for blowing it. And you never fucking escape that. You never actually can get rid of that. That sort of mental conception of yourself as like this kind of underdog loser. So this used to be Life Cafe. I don't know if anybody ever went to Life Cafe, but it was where Jonathan Larson wrote the musical Rent. And people used to, and I think it's in fucking Rent. I've never seen Rent. I'm not like a Rent. I don't know anything about Rent. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There you go. Yeah. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Ohio for some fucking stupid reason. There's really no reason for it to be in Cleveland. I mean, Alan Freed is great and everything, but it's like, his contribution is kind of small compared to the fucking musicians. But anyway, Life Cafe, they didn't really change the fucking indoors. That's where fucking Jonathan Larson wrote the musical Rent. And so people would go in there and like sing the fucking songs and shit. Pretty cheesy. I think my friend worked there. I spent like New Year's Eve there one year, I think. This is like a Burning Man bar for like burners and shit. This place still has a fucking food shed, a dining shed. They splurged for the dining shed. What do you know? Okay, maybe I'll walk by the Poets building. Kind of go back that way. I mean, I'm sure living in the East Village was no fucking picnic when it was crime-ridden and druggy and scary and heroin. Like, those people had to go through a lot for their rent-controlled apartments. It's easy to romanticize it now, but I didn't, I don't know what it is about the East Village. Maybe it's the location. Maybe it's where it is on the trains. Maybe it's like the infrastructure of the fucking place. But like, for some reason, I'd always end up here. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I never went out in the West Village. I never went out on McDougal Street. I never went to fucking, any of those bars to like try to meet people. But it's like the East Village, it's just like without even fucking trying, it's like I was always in the East Village. I knew people in the East Village. Poetry stuff. Like, I don't know. There's just something about the farm, right? The Bowery means farm, right? And the East Village was like Peter Stuyvesant's farm back centuries ago. And being from Ohio, it's like I sort of am a farmer, right? I mean, or like that's an easy kind of fucking identity to, it's a lot easier for me to like think of myself as a farmer than a banker. I've never really tried to get under the skin of the city. In a certain way, maybe I am too incompetent. I don't know if I could do like a real corporate job. It's like, could I work as like some kind of video person for like even Fox News or something? Probably not. Not that I'd want to, but it's like, or could I write ad copy for Target or something? It's like, I don't know. Maybe I could. I did like video at that Agenda place for a while. Eventually they found out I was incompetent and stopped hiring me. And, well, as a working class person, it's like, that's your only value here, is like, what work can you do that like some boss wants to delegate to you that, or like with creative stuff, it's like, well, they don't know how to use Premiere or whatever. They need you to like actually do the physical hands-on shit. I'm gonna try to ride the bus during my live stream, okay? I'm gonna try to get on the bus. I'm gonna take the bus uptown. So that's my goal, and that's my experiment for this live stream. It's like pretty soon I'm gonna get on the bus, and I'm gonna ride, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. So get ready for that. Are we excited about that, everybody out there? It's Friday night. Are we getting laid, or people out there getting laid? You got a hot date? What the hell are you doing watching my live stream? You should be out. You should be out doing stuff. Hopefully you're having sex right now while you're watching this. And you just have to watch it anyway because it's such hot fire. You can't miss a fucking Proctor or Scenes from a Life live stream, for Christ's sake. So this is the best show on the internet. This is the best kept secret on the internet right here. Alright, so I'll go by the poetry. This is the Poet's apartment building where Allen Ginsberg lived. Bruce Halliday's old and boarding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Fuck going out. It's all bullshit. There's just a huge amount of pressure on us to, so yeah, this is where Allen Ginsberg lived. Richard Hell lives here now, currently. I think Simone Pettit maybe lives here, Simon Pettit. Rene Ricard lived here, Alan Russell lived here. Like I said, Allen Ginsberg and Peter Orlovsky. Dylan, there's stories about Bob Dylan coming to visit Allen Ginsberg here, and various people. Everybody kind of visited Allen Ginsberg. He was kind of a world hobnobber, world schmoozer. Bring back SROs, exactly. That's why I have, probably the most popular episode of my vlog that I've ever released is called Single Room Occupant. It's got almost 8,000 views, I think. And I think it's just because people are Googling single room occupancy. Like, Why don't they have this? Why don't they have, you know, they had room, you know, I guess they have rooming houses. It's just called having roommates now. But it's like, it's not really like designed to be a rooming house. It's not really like economized like a rooming house. They're just trying to like charge as much as they possibly can for every fucking room. You know, this, I don't think this was even a rent controlled building. I think the landlord was just cool and was like, we'll raise your rent at sort of like rent control rates. So the people in this building literally, even to this day, pay like a few $100s a month to live in this unbelievable location in the neighborhood with, you know, the hottest neighborhood in the world. And, okay, so I saw this list, top 10 neighborhoods, top 10 coolest neighborhoods in the world. I forget who did it. Some fucking travel thing. And New York wasn't even on the list. There was nowhere in New York even on the list. I thought they were going to pitch Ridgewood. Because I saw something recently that was like, Ridgewood is the coolest neighborhood. So, but it was like, New York was not even on the list. The only fucking neighborhood from the United States was like in Portland. So it seemed like they were purposefully going international. And, you know, I don't know. I think, is New York, it's been ruined finally? Has it been bland and mediocre for so long? You know, has New York been full of bad art for so long that just like its glow has sort of worn off, its aura?
I'm not standing for 40.
I don't know. I think it's just been so normalized to move here. It's too easy. If you're just like a normie kind of like redneck, you know, if you're some kind of like business class like Taylor Swift, Nashville person that like, oh, I'm gonna move to New York, you've ruined it. It sucks now. There's too much finance, there's too much North Face vest or whatever those fucking vests are. Alright, we're going by Heaven Can Wait. We're doing the scene report here. Friday night, scoping the fucking scene. Heaven Can Wait is looking pretty cool. They have some kind of fucking music shit going on, I'm sure. They need to book System Lord. God damn it. Why, you know, System Lord should be playing all these fucking... We are the coolest fucking band in New York. Yeah, so all the top 10 neighborhoods were like... I think the number one neighborhood was in Marseille, France. It wasn't even in Paris. Number 2 was like in Morocco. So I think they're purposefully internationalizing it. And, you know, New York is still the machine, and it's still like the aspirational complex that's gonna like pressure you into a fucking diamond. Regardless, you know, now I guess it's just a different kind of cost that it exacts from you. It's not like dangerous. It's not like risky. It's just like you got to find some way to make, you know, like this prohibitive amount of fucking money. Yo, what up? I should have talked to them. Ay. People get excited by the fucking the stick. I don't know. Not in the West Village. In East Village, this is where it's at. People love the fucking stream. I don't know. Should I just talk to people? Maybe I'll talk to the next people that acknowledge the stream. And you just got to put up with like this fucking huge affronting offensive of like kind of like confident banality that's like in your face. All these like very confident, entitled, super entitled like normies. You know, super entitled people that just like are boring. It's like that's how they got rich. That's why they do these jobs. They don't want to be artists. They're not creative. They didn't try to do that. They did everything like society tells them you're supposed to do. Like our capitalist world-killing, profit extraction. They did everything you're supposed to do. They got responsible jobs. They got these bean counter jobs, these cowardly finance fucking, extracting wealth from our metadata, extracting wealth from our souls, extracting wealth from our flesh. Literally, killing us for money through, labor abuse. Look at that. So yeah, I'm gonna go to St. Mark's again, just because it's so lit. This sea of people. I don't know. It's just another era in New York. History. You know what I mean? It's just another layer. It's a new Gilded Age. It's pretty fucking cool if you're a winner. If you're rich and tall and hot and shit, it's probably a great time to be alive. I think there is like an ignorance that those people have. They don't understand that not everybody is winning and having such a fucking great time as they are. So, I try to be... So, here, these guys are fucking streaming too. I try to be a fucking social commentator and a pundit and just a good neighbor. This is like a conversation you need to have with your neighbor about what's going on in the neighborhood and how your city's going to shit. Those voices all just vanish. Anybody who complained about gentrification, it's like we're so far past that it sounds corny to even talk about now, People are talking about it like in Brooklyn, like there is more backlash against the gentrification that's happening in Brooklyn, but no, Manhattan is just a lost cause. It's a museum city. It's captured. It really is just like a Sotheby's like lot. It's an auction lot that somebody already it's just part of some rich person's collection, Manhattan is literally like this piece of fine art that's just like in some rich guy's fucking, warehouse or something. This is 101 St. Mark's. This is where Ted Berrigan and Alice Notley lived in the 70s and 80s, where Ted Berrigan died. Right here, Ted Berrigan, I think they live on the 4th floor or something. That's where Ted Berrigan died, right here. There used to be a lion over the door. They replaced it with this surveillance light or something, but now it's Cafe Mogador. I'm sure it was no picnic living there at the time. It was dangerous, it was scary, it was hot, there was no air conditioning. To be honest, I think air conditioning has contributed to the banalification of New York probably more than anything. If it weren't for air conditioning, air conditioning is what makes it possible for rich people to live here. They wouldn't tolerate it. If there were no air conditioning, New York gets really fucking hot. It gets like dangerously stuffy. That's why everybody leaves in the summer. It's because it's sort of uninhabitable. But now there's just comfort, there's acclimatization everywhere. Here we are back on 2nd Avenue. I'm a tour guide. This is your anti-gentrification poetry. Ancient history. Poetry of yesteryear. That world is long gone. Poets still live in the East Village Are they young? Are they hard scrabble? Like I doubt it. They're certainly not paying, $85 a month for rent. And so what economic, conditions make it possible for that life? The East Village as this kind of shelter, breeding ground, place of culture, long over, and anything but this sort of institutionalized, kind of like fixed way. This is where W.H. Auden lived, in this building. So there's just, there's a lot of layers of poetry. Auden, Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, all those people I mentioned earlier. All the poets of the Poetry Project. If they get rid of the economic conditions that make it possible for poets to congregate, to confer, to spend time together, to grow together, it works in their favor to get rid of that. The establishment, the right wing, the people who hated the 60s, the people, the Reaganites, the people who are trying to roll back the 60s. These people are all Reaganites. I mean, look at them. They're all like Spalding and fucking Caddyshack. They're literally like Judge Schmale's people. And they're making it really hard to make poetry and, interesting people. I don't know. It's over. It's over. It's not even worth talking about. It's just, like I said, it's this artifact. It's this collectible. It's or it's just a place to keep your kids, If you're some super big shot, just subscribe. All right. We're in the East Village. This is the East Village, New York City. Oh, wait, that was First Avenue. This is Second Avenue. This was Dallas Barbecue until this whole fucking place. And Dallas Barbecue was like a poor people restaurant. It was like ribs. It's like a place I could see myself going with my parents if they came. It's like Texas Roadhouse or some shit. And now it's Cafe Maud for the new class of, bourgeois professional women. Ultra privileged. They're hot, they're smart, they're well educated, their parents are rich. No wonder they're fucking frustrated. And I saw, and this can't be true, it said New York is the worst city to date in the United States. New York City, worst city to date in.
Ooh, he's vlogging. Ooh.
Yeah, that's right, hell yeah. That's right. I wonder how long it's gonna be until the novelty of this wears off. Right now it's like people get excited when they see you vlogging. I think it's just coming into public consciousness. I've noticed more people using YouTube. People in Instagram have started to make posts about how they're going to start vlogging. So it's like, okay, it's starting to become trendy for people. It's becoming another social media that you have to have. It's like, oh, if you're in the business of your self art or whatever, it's like, I need an Instagram and now I need a YouTube. I need, I have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, people on the streets, they're, it's just now coming into fucking more of a wide public awareness as this kind of exciting, trendy, playing the guitar after the Beatles or something. It's like, oh shit, you play guitar? Wow. Oh, you're a vlogger? Wow. It's like, I've been vlogging, okay? What up? I've been out here. been out here vlogging. Yeah, people get super excited at St. Mark's Place. I mean, you know, I don't know. For my money, St. Mark's Place probably is the most magical street in New York. Like, it's still, I mean, McDougal's great and everything, but even that's kind of calcified into like this weird comedy, right-wing tourist trap.
And now
St. Mark's is, you know, it's still like this. Still feels kind of like festive and wild and rock and roll. Still kind of feels like the Electric Circus or some shit. I love the Broad City episode. I think it's called St. Mark's. And literally the whole episode, it's brilliant. It's a great idea. The whole episode, it's like they start at the beginning of St. Mark's, and the whole episode is them walking up St. Mark's Place, just getting into different adventures, you know, along the way. And once again, St. Mark's is this place that, like, somebody like me, I have no access to really anything in Manhattan. It's very rare for me to even be in an interior space in Manhattan, especially somebody's apartment. You know, yeah, Dave Van Ronk, there you go. You know, like, I know so few people that live in Manhattan. Most of them are old, because anybody under the age of 70 just can't afford it, unless you got a fucking rent-controlled apartment here, like in, you know, 1975. And so, like, I was reading some shit the other day about, who was it? Peter Sheldall or somebody had an apartment on St. Mark's Place. I think Gustin, or who was it? Was it Philip Gustin, or somebody else had a studio? Had a studio in St. Mark's. I forget who it was. All right, I'm gonna try to get on the bus now. Fuck. It's like sort of raining, so I'm worried that my phone is gonna get moisture in it, because my phone is such an old piece of shit. It's already dying. What happened to my last phone is, like, it wasn't even raining that much. It was just like sort of raining, and my phone got like a little bit of moisture on it, and the whole fucking thing died. So now I'm holding an umbrella and a selfie stick. Okay, that's what That's what I do for you guys. Paul Blackburn has a great poem about this triangle right here. It's highly sexual, and I guess it's got some internalized misogyny, but it's still a good poem. And it's, you know, Paul Blackburn, he's somebody that's like always geolocating, telling you where he is. You know, you're live streaming with Paul Blackburn on the streets of New York. You know, he's one of the great New York kind of geography poets of, you know, telling you where he is and how he's moving across the Brooklyn-Manhattan Transit, walking along the triangle on 3rd Avenue and 9th Street on the way to the church. Even though Paul Blackburn's stuff is highly sexual and objectifies the hell out of women. But, you know, at the time, I don't know, that was like, he was a troubadour. This is a great dollar store, by the way. This is highly recommended. I give this place 5 stars. There's this dollar store on 3rd Avenue and 10th Street. It's fantastic. That's poor people culture, right? That doesn't really exist. I guess students need dollar stores. But they've gotten rid of all the poor people. You know, the Kmart's gone. So now they got this fucking Wegmans. I went in Wegmans, like, I can't afford anything here. Wegmans is a fucking, you know. So once again, it's just like we're blind. You know, Manhattan is blind to poverty. You know, just like get them all out of here. Get all the fucking poor people out, except for the projects. You know, there's still projects. There's still NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority. But that's like in the floodplains and shit. You know, the rich people are doing like an eminent domain. That's what they're doing with fucking East River Park. They want to get rid of the civic infrastructure here and the public commons where like the working class can fucking enjoy themselves. That's the bus I need right there. Fuck. I wonder if I can believe this guy's gonna stop here. Alright, I'm gonna try to get on this fucking bus. I think it's this one. I'm gonna try to get on this fucking bus right now with my live stream. Let's see how this goes. Join me on this adventure, everybody. We're gonna be live streaming from this fucking bus. So I might stop talking. I might just... Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get on the M2. I think the M2 was the one I needed. It's coming. I hope it stops here. Limited? What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean it's more expensive to take the limited? See, like this, retail space release. Like, what the fuck? This is most of New York now is like, oh fuck. God damn it! I should have just got on the fucking bus. Let's see if this guy actually comes over. Okay. There's a billiard parlor still. I read this article the other day. I think it was in Vanity Fair. This guy was talking about how he was an aspiring playwright. He went to fucking Princeton or some shit, and he won some awards at Princeton. He's like an aspiring like theater guy in the 50s. He lived with Peter Falk, and I forget some other fucking people. And he was talking about Peter Falk, you know, they'd go and play pool. Like during the day, that's what they do. They go play pool at like the pool hall. They lived on 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd or something. And I mean, there still is a pool hall here. I guess you could still do that. Lord knows how expensive it is. How does that fucking place stay in business? You know, I guess, is that like a tourist thing? It was one of the things I noticed about Manhattan when I first came here, was like there's these fucking pool halls and shit. This guy's not gonna stop here. Is he? Okay. Alright, so we're on the fucking bus here. Where should I sit? What do you think is going to be the most interesting place to sit for the viewer? Maybe there, maybe here. Fuck. Alright, should I... Let me get a shot out the window for you guys. So yeah, there's that fucking pool. This is an experiment, like I said. I wanted to take you guys with me on this journey.
4th Avenue and East 13th Street.
And you know, this is a moving podcast now. This is a tracking shot. This is like a live one of those train fucking videos. This is a live bus. I think we're going up 5th Avenue. I think that's the planned route. But to me, there's nothing more beautiful than a lateral tracking shot, a lateral dolly move. I don't know. To me, I find
L, N, Q and R trains, L92, M1, M14 ASBS, M14 DSBS, and M3.
Okay, so what the hell else do I need to talk about? Maybe I'll read poetry or something while we're traveling. Is this exciting for everybody? I'll probably get more viewers doing this. Nobody wants to see my fucking... But like, oh, Friday night bus. Live bus stream from the M2 going up Manhattan. I wonder how much I pay to get on this fucking bus. You know, I don't know. I'm literally... This is like the miracle of... You know, this is kind of the best kept secret of Manhattan, is like the bus is actually way fucking better than the train. And a lot of times you get on it and you're literally the only fucking person on it. So it's like, is this like I have a limousine? It's like I'm being chauffeured around in a fucking limousine. My own private limousine that's, got 48 chairs in it.
Next stop, Park Avenue south of East 18th Street.
This is more of a visual music. This is part of the city symphony. This is not necessarily. Maybe I'll just talk during the times we're stopped. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to run into crazy people on the bus. That's like the fear. That's why, a lot of times you won't get on, but...
Park Avenue south of East 18th Street.
All right, we're on Park Avenue now, everybody. We've really made it. Okay, what else do I need to talk about? Yeah, so New York, no longer the coolest neighborhood in the world. Well, I think it's just about time they did some PR for some other fucking place, It's like New York has already gentrified the fuck out. The real estate developers have won. The GQ, coolest neighborhood in the world, Esquire, Chamber of Commerce, backroom dealing is paid off. They flipped Brooklyn, they flipped Crown Heights, they flipped East New York, they flipped Brownsville.
This stop is Park Avenue south of East 21st Street.
Getting some pizza in there. It's like the real estate interests have won. They won everything. And it's just like these little things kind of eat away at you. They eat away at the envelope of you. It's like having to share an apartment with more people, having to be on the train longer. Like, okay, Monday I got to the open mic at like real late, 1:30 or 2 a.m. I went to Taco Bell afterwards because I was hungry. And the fucking train was in 2 segments. So it was like this long, there was crazy people in the train. There was this guy yelling. So it's like, I thought it was going to be a straight shot. I just get on, bam. And,
available to the 6th train, BM1, BM2, BM3, BXM7 and M1.
It's like I didn't get home till like 4 in the fucking morning. The east side of Manhattan, I think, is slept on. Particularly in this part of town, 23rd Street. The east side's kind of nice over there. There's this nice Taco Bell right here on 23rd Street. That's got this beautiful window. I haven't been over there in too long. But, I saw this video today about in the early days of Manhattan was kind of divided by Broadway, and the west side was, the Bunny Man was on the train last night. The Bunny Man was on the train. And I think he likes me. It was like he was sort of like went out of his way to like stand in front of me and perform. He was saying he was having a rough night. And he got on and he's like, I'll give you 500 quintillion, kabillion jelly beans. There's this guy who gets on the Q train who wears like a bunny ears. And he's like, I don't know, this middle-aged white guy. He probably lives with his parents. He looks like who was that guy in the Misfits in WWE? The guy with the Cartman shirt. So yeah, and he does these kind of like monologues. Yeah, I should invite him to the open mic. You're right. I should give him one of my flyers, dude. You don't need to do this on the train. I mean, he's got his own open mic. He's got as much time as he wants on that open mic. He can just run his mouth and talk, like I'm doing. He should just stream. He's on TikTok. He tells you. He's like, oh, you can find me on TikTok. I don't follow him. I haven't looked him up. I like what he's doing. I think that's actually really interesting. I think it's cool when people like do live. The only people that do it really are like religious people, but like I love to see Somebody just like standing in Union Square with like a microphone, just like talking about whatever the fuck they want to talk about. Like I think that's the best form of public performance, actually. It's the best form of busking. It's just like live diatribes about whatever the fuck, you know. We're live from the M2 bus, by the way. So yeah, the Manhattan was divided down the middle. The west side was the dollar side, and the east side was the shilling side. So I guess the east side has always been. See, there's more ugly scaffolding. Look at this like hideous fucking scaffolding everywhere. They try to make it look nice and like, you know, aesthetic and shit with these white columns, but it's like really shitty and omnipresent. I mean, it's almost like they just put a veranda. You know, they should just put a fucking balcony level on every building. If they're gonna build this ugly scaffolding, just put in like some kind of like French Quarter-esque like balcony level. Oh, there's worse scaffolding in Seattle and Los Angeles. I mean, it's a racket. It's completely a racket. It has to stop. There needs to be legislation. Kamala, can you do something about this? I mean, is this why Eric Adams is going to jail because of the scaffolding? Scaffold gate. There's Park Avenue, everybody. Live Park Avenue. Okay, we're on 28th Street. Baruch College. See, I never even heard about Baruch College until I lived in Manhattan. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Baruch College is like this nice college in the East 20s. It's like, fuck, I'd go to school here. All these kids go to NYU. You don't ever hear about Baruch College. Yeah, so just endlessly trying to enjoy it. But like I said, these little things eat at you a little bit at a time. I've lived in New York since 2010. You know, so at this point, I'm kind of an elder. You know, it's 15 years almost, and that's, you know, I've been seeing these videos about how when you're 38 years old, your personality kind of solidifies, and you kind of become like hardened. I saw this thing about he'd been hardened. Film noir. Film noir is about people who have been hardened by, you know, like it was like this sort of World War II era, post-war. And I've been watching all these film noir movies right this year, and it's sort of about being middle-aged, I think. All right, Southern California, retired to Washington. What part of Washington? Spokane? Are you from LA or? I mean, Ashley is out on some kind of investigation. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I've got 6 people watching. That's more than usual. Adam S., you know, he really watches when he's like at work. You're at Whidbey Island. Oh, that sounds cool. Is that like 5 easy pieces? Is that like you have to take a ferry to get there? The other thing, you know, Manhattan's island living. You know, Brooklyn is Long Island. Canada is an hour north from me. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, like I was joking the other day, I live in Brooklyn Hampton. I live in Midwood Hampton. I live in Midhampton, Long Island. You know, because technically Brooklyn is Long Island. You can drive or take a ferry. Okay, that sounds cool. I'd love to, you know, get to that part of the country. Apparently Seattle is in danger of collapsing because, Santa Barbara. I saw a video today about, apparently Santa Barbara has like more nice days a year than anywhere else in the United States. That part of California has like over 300 perfect days a year. So why not just move there? I mean, has California been ruined by the car tax and all of the over legislation, or I don't know. I don't know. I like California. I would love to live in the Bay Area. Well, they just moved the Oakland A's, right? The Oakland A's just played their last home game in Oakland Coliseum. And as a kid, the A's were my favorite team. Ricky Henderson, Jose Canseco is my favorite player. The roided out juice head who owns a car wash. Jose Canseco. Who ratted everybody out in baseball. He was my favorite player. They had some other good players. Dennis Eckersley, McGuire, of course. They had the coolest uniforms, yellow and green. I don't know why. As a kid, I was just into the A's. I was into Canseco. And Ricky Henderson, I mean, went to a wedding in Santa Barbara. There you go. I feel like Santa Barbara is where all the celebrities move who are like super, like Mike Nichols or Oprah. You know, like once you become like a super priest, you move to Santa Barbara, the most, you know, paradisical place in the continental United States. I've been through there a few times. Oh, thank you very much, Trisha. That's very nice of you. Thank you. I wish, you know, I wish more people watched my live stream because I'm handsome. Santa Barbara is gorgeous. Yeah, I've been through there a few times. They have that tower in the middle of the town. You like go up in that tower. There's a nice style of architecture there. They've got that kind of like Spanish tile. Okay, I mean, I've still got like 60 blocks to go, so I imagine the bus is going to be adding people. So I'm going to keep this up as long as I can. This is my first ever live mass transit cast, courtesy of the MTA. I did pay for it. I did pay my fare. I did the Omni. So I usually pay, to be honest. I got a ticket for jumping the turnstiles in 2016, and I haven't really done it since then. Out where I am now, ooh, really, Orcas. That's incredible. Did you move up there for work, or was that just kind of something you wanted to live there? Or I've heard Seattle is like. I won't get a bit ahead. I'm almost 40 years old. It's over for me. Retired, hell yeah. I mean, I've heard Seattle in that part of the country is like one of the most beautiful parts of the country. The people I've known from Ohio who went to Seattle were just blown away. They didn't have enough good things to say about the nature, the giant trees, the Pacific Northwest. My brother's ex-wife's dad lived in Seattle. So he had gone to Seattle a few times. Seattle is beautiful, but crazy expensive and very congested. Yeah. That's wild. My friend Jason Trachtenberg moved to Seattle in the 90s. He's a native New Yorker, I think. And he moved to Seattle sort of in the post-grunge, you know, scene. He wanted to kind of get in on that. Mike Daisy is from Seattle. If you're old at 40, what am I? I'm at 72. You're doing great. You're a legend. You have endured. You're one of the tall trees. Here we are. We're riding up Madison Avenue, everybody. We're madmen here tonight. Look at all those brake lights. That New York City traffic. Yeah, I mean, Seattle is super expensive because of Amazon and Microsoft and all the tech. Nintendo, Ichiro. Oh, there's Grand Central. Passing Grand Central. You may recognize some of these landmarks here on... All right, and we're building online community here. We love it. People making friends in the comments. That's nice. It's beautiful. Maybe you guys will. Maybe this will be like some kind of matchmaking thing. This will be great. You met each other through the Scenes from a Life bus live stream. Look, this is bus 9853. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. This is bus 9853. For some reason they have a sign. This is bus 9853. Okay, well, what else should we talk about? Trisha, do you have anything you want to talk about? Is there anything specific you'd like to hear about, or Grand Central gotta get?
Next stop, Madison Avenue and East 46th
I missed it.
Street.
I missed the Grand Central. I'm sorry. This is gonna be exciting to watch later, actually. You know, I love, like I said, I love lateral tracking through New York. I've never been to New York, but I've been to Toronto. I've been to Toronto a couple times. I like Toronto. I'd like to spend more time there. I'd like to go to the Bridle Path with Drake at 7 a.m.
This stop is Madison
Apparently, Bridle
Avenue,
Path is
East
one of the
46th
most
Street.
expensive, exclusive neighborhoods in the world. A lot of people move to New York from Toronto.
Next stop, Madison Avenue and East 50th
Toronto
Street.
seems like kind of a gentler New York. My uncle, Alan, from Chillicothe, from Chillytown, he worked for the Toronto Blue Jays. Like fucking George Costanza almost. He got a job. I think when Canseco played for the Blue Jays. Jose Canseco, I'm pretty sure, had like a short-lived stint after the A's where he played for the Blue. He played for everybody. He played for the Yankees briefly. The Rangers, I think. He played for the Blue Jays. My uncle worked for the Toronto Blue Jays, and like he was trying to move to Canada. My uncle was like a Ross Perot guy. He was just he didn't like the government. He was trying to kind of find a way out of the corruption in this country. So he moved to Toronto. You know, he had socialized healthcare in Toronto, and he worked for the fucking Blue Jays at the fucking Sky Dome. Like fucking George Costanza for the Yankees. And he didn't stay there. He eventually came back to the United States, but I think he preferred Canada. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe Canada's the answer. I don't know. Like I said, I know a bunch of comedians from Toronto moved here to make it. You know, like Toronto, I think there's kind of like, what is it, Zanies or some club there. Jim Carrey started out there, I think. And so there is like a comedy, like Second City, right, obviously is in Toronto. So there is like, there's tons of famous people that have come out of there, Martin Short or, Second City people, but I don't know, New York, even though it feels kind of like it's kind of finished in a way, like you can't really add anything to New York, like it's already kind of like complete. It's like, where is it going to go from here? It's sort of like yesterday's version of the biggest city and the biggest empire. Now it's like there's plenty of cities in China that kind of dwarf New York and make it look like old-fashioned. There's so many cities in China that are way more futuristic than New York. I think they're trying to... Oh, that's cool. England and Ireland through Canada, Philly. Interesting. New Jersey. Right. I think they're trying to redo the New York skyline quickly. Once again, these people who are just hijack the city and making poor decisions on behalf of all of us that we have no say in. They're building this kind of new skyline. It's like you can't even see the Chrysler building anymore. Hudson Yards, they're expanding that. New York it's all going to be tall glass. Before too long, Manhattan will be, hundreds of feet taller than it is right now. There will just be tall glass fucking buildings every goddamn place. It's already starting to happen. But I think especially in the next, 50 years, the skyline of Manhattan is going to just completely... the Empire State Building will probably be obscured. It's already starting to be blocked by these sort of ugly, rich people, inefficient glass condo buildings. There's no protection for that. So it's like it's only a matter of time before the Empire State Building is sort of subsumed in glass, pencil, tiny footprint super tall type things. Just like the 20th century was sort of being subsumed in, oh, cool, okay, he's Welsh, huh? Brother-in-law, interesting. So he moved from New York to LA. What is he in, what line of work is he in? You know, New York and LA, it's like, it's, in a certain way, it's like, those are the only two cities that, like, take each other seriously on that level in this country, but is LA dead? I think LA is kind of like, because the movie business is dying. You know, that's one reason why I didn't move out there. First of all, I just don't want to be a part of car culture at all. You know, I do not want to drive. I much prefer this, you know. This is a luxury to me, to be able to take the bus and have somebody else drive you, and I can live stream. I guess I could do this from my self-driving car, but...
Next stop, Madison Avenue and East 61st Street.
He's a CEO. There you go. He's a CEO of a bank, but he has a solar-powered car with recharging stations. Okay. That's interesting. So he's doing his part to fight climate change. Oh yeah, the Edge. He's Welsh? I didn't know the Edge is Welsh. I thought those guys were all Irish. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of magic. There's a lot of Welsh magic, I feel like. Dylan Thomas, Anthony Hopkins, Tom Jones, Robert Plant. Wales. They still have, like, some of their languages preserved and shit there. Their native kind of, like, ethnic kind of idiosyncrasy. Okay, we're on Madison Avenue and 58th Street. Got 50 more blocks, so I'll do 2 hours. I'll do till my phone is 10%. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Check out my vlogs. This is kind of the ultimate vlog. This is the ultimate scenes from a live stream. Maybe this will be my new thing. I'll just go on the bus and stream from different New York City buses.
This stop is Madison Avenue.
Really, you worked in public libraries. That's something I've been thinking about trying to get into. You know, because now the minimum wage is like $20 in New York. So it's like, you can really get any job and sort of be able to afford to make a living. So it's like, why wouldn't I work in a library? You know, it's like, I used to not want to work in a library because it's like, you get paid, you know, minimum wage or $7.50 an hour or whatever. What is this?
Next stop.
It's like, fuck, I'd love to work in a library. Do I need like a master's degree in library sciences to get that job? Or, you know, I would love to get one of these. I'd love to get a job in like Jefferson Market Library or one of these libraries in Manhattan. Maybe I'll try to get like this angle here. There we go. It's pretty trippy. Depends on what you want to do within the library. I'd be happy to just like shelve books and do whatever the like kind of manual entry level. I don't really want to be like some kind of like, you know, head librarian. You know, Philip Larkin was a librarian. The British poet Philip Larkin. He worked in some kind of big British fancy library for his whole life. You know, that's how he sort of financed his. He was like a super jazz collector. He was like an avid jazz. There you go. He'd spend all day reading and he'd get fired. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'd love to, you know, the real reason why I'd want to work in the library, I'd love to do programming. You know, I'd love to like host readings and like do events at the library.
63rd Street.
But you know, the real reason I've always wanted to work in a library or bookstore because I want to be able to do a staff pick. I really envy people who get to do staff picks. You know, like, is there any more power in, like, the literary world than, like, getting to have your name on, like, the staff picks? And getting to be, like, you know, one of the staff pick people? This is the Manoli Bolonic store for all the Sex and the City fans out there. Work at the checkout counter, assist librarians, be a library page, assist with programs, etc. All right, cool. That sounds cool. Yeah, like I said, I mean, if I could do 15 to 20 hours a week in a library, it's like the hours are pretty good. It's like 10 to 6 or something. You know, they close early. They don't open that early. So you can kind of sleep in a little bit. Oh, here we are, Boucheron. Does anybody know what Boucheron is? I'll check it out. Yeah, thank you for that. That's synchronicity right there, because it's something I've been thinking about. I do need some kind of, like, it wouldn't be bad to have, like, a little bit of a scheduled income, as long as, you know, like, a library seems like it would be relaxed, quiet. You know, you're around other thoughtful people, readers. It's kind of nice to be around readers, like-minded people with an interior life. Whereas, like, working in a restaurant, working in hospitality, working in retail, being on your feet all day, it's like, I don't know. I've kind of done that. I don't want to, you know, I can't abuse my body in that way anymore. I need something kind of steady and easy. Or not easy, but just kind of like smooth, you know, smooth and steady. Here we go. Fratelli Rossetti. All right, I mean, Jesus Christ. I usually write on the bus. The bus is a great place to write because you can actually see things. You know, you've got this visual stimulation. You have this kind of meditative conveyance. You know, you're being you know, rolled onward and forward, and it kind of leads itself to, like, contemplation. You know, if I would love to just ride buses and trains all day writing. Oh, there you go. Boucheron is a French word that translates to lumberjack or woodcutter, but that is a luxury jewelry store. There you go. Lumberjack. Are you an AI agent? Was that AI? That was amazing. Okay, more people are getting on the bus now. A lot of stopping and starting. Yeah, and riding the subway, it's like you're in this coffin. You're in this. It's claustrophobic. It's underground, subterranean. It's like, you know, it's this weirdly pressurized circumstance to be, like, in with a bunch of strangers, you know, kind of ignoring them, but it's like you're close. Apparently they're gonna put Wi-Fi everywhere on the subway. They haven't yet, but the subway is kind of like this weird monastery. There's something like monastic, and, you know, you get it's like being on an elevator with somebody. It's like you get in this close quarters, and then, like, you don't want to look at them or say anything. You don't want to make any kind of contact at all. Okay, people are starting to get off the bus. Interesting. Doors closing. You know, but at this point, like, the bus is almost like this. It's almost like the ferry. You know, New York's got these great, like, East River Ferry. It's almost like a premium service. You know, it's like taking the ferry to Rockaway. It's like one of the best things you can do in New York. You know, rather than being this chore where you're just like trapped in this fucking tube without any distraction. Do I have a first name? Yeah, my name is Matt. M-A-T-T. I don't mind saying that on the internet. Although, should I just go by my handle? Should I just be Scenes from a Life? I think that's the cooler thing. Trisha. Hello, Trisha. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. I usually am on like Tuesday, Thursday, and sometimes Friday. But I generally try to walk around New York, and I'm going to do 20 more minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be on the bus for 20 more minutes or... Is it late? It's not late yet. It's only 11 o'clock or something. It's Friday night, baby. Thank you. All right. I'm on the notifications, so that way it'll alert you. You'll get a notification anytime I'm live. That's good. 8:42 p.m. in the Pacific Northwest. That's cool. It's exciting. So we got people in Jersey, people in Washington. Oh, there's the Cafe Carlisle. Shit. There was Bemelman's. Was that Steve Martin? Oh, no wonder all those people got out. They're going to Bemelman's. I had no idea Cafe Carlisle was at Any Girls for Fun tonight. I mean, I'm going to Ashley's house. That's my fun. I mean, there's a lot of people out in New York, you know. It's nice weather. We've got sort of the extended summer. You know, the layover. We're in a hold. Summer is still holding. It's nice because it's like 70. It's not too hot. It's not too chilly. This is really the prime of the year before it starts to fall off.
This stop is Madison Avenue at East 83rd Street.
So yeah, I mean, night is alive with all kind of possibility. Oh yeah, we're gonna watch. There you go. Yeah, if you could call some entertainment for us, that'd be great. Maybe you could SWAT us. Could you just call a stripper to like the live stream? Maybe I could get a stripper to come on my live stream. That would get us some views. I'm sure. I'm gonna finish watching Ash Wednesday this weekend. We have a reading tomorrow night at Spoonbill Sugartown, which is this very cool bookstore in Williamsburg. It's probably one of the most, hip bookstores, in New York. Spoonbill in Sugartown. I'm still on the bus. I'll be there. I'm on Madison and 89th, so I'll be there, in probably like half an hour or something. So, get ready. You rushed back. You said take your time, so I'm taking my time. So, okay, Ashley will be asleep. What does that mean? You're drunk is what this means. Ashley just got on to cause trouble. Yeah, this is your introduction to Ashley. I just passed Bemelman's, Ashley. I don't know. It's a nice lady who's watching from Washington. She's just tuning in from Washington, okay? She's just part of the online community, so be nice, okay? Don't alienate potential fans, okay? I'm on the bus, Ashley. I will be there soon, okay? Is there anything to eat there? Yeah, Trisha has a boyfriend, Ashley. Uh-oh. Adam S. in the chat, everybody. We got everybody. Everybody's here.
Madison Avenue and East 91st Street.
The whole family. Look, what do you want me to do, Ashley? This is the fastest. I'll be there soon. I'm on 91st Street, Madison Avenue. It's not going to take that long. Just chill. Relax, okay? There's no reason to cry. It's a little ridiculous.
This stop is Madison Avenue and East 91st
It's a little
Street.
ridiculous. I just passed Cafe Carlisle. Is that where you were, Ashley?
Madison Avenue and East 93rd
All right.
Street.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to discipline. I'm going to have to take disciplinary action here. Ashley's going in a timeout.
This stop is Madison Avenue.
I'm sorry,
and
it had to be
East
done.
93rd Street.
I'm using my executive privilege. And
Next
sorry,
stop,
just for the
Madison
good of the
Avenue
chat
and East
and the
93rd.
well-being,
Transfer available to M96.
you know,
This
of
stop
the
is Madison
discourse
Avenue and East 95th
and the
Street.
online community. Ashley, come on. What do you want me to do, okay? Like, I'm on the bus now. I will be there. I'm on 95th Street, okay? So I'm, like, not that far away. So just chill. 86,000 seconds. You're not stepping on any toes. Ashley is crazy. And she has no respect for my boundaries. So she is an emotional terrorist. All right. Well, this is exciting.
Rear door.
This is an exciting thing. Deus Ex Machina. To come in at the end of the... I think we turn left on 110th in this bus. I hope that's what happens.
Please exit through the rear door.
All right. Ashley, you definitely said take your time.
Next stop, Madison Avenue, East 93rd
Okay?
Street.
So just chill. Okay? It's what's the difference? What is the goddamn difference?
This stop is Madison Avenue and East 98th Street.
Okay. 86,000 seconds, okay? Oh my god. Oh my god. One block at a time, people. This is like Speed. This is like the opposite of the movie Speed. This is like slow. We're trapped on this bus. The whole movie takes place on the bus.
Madison Avenue and East 101st Street.
Yes, exactly. It's like that episode of Breaking Bad. I think it's pretty exciting. I think this might be the new, this might be my new, yeah, the Lighthouse. There you go. I haven't seen the Lighthouse. Is it a must watch? It seems like one of the more interesting movies, maybe of the last few years. I mean, no spamming the chat, okay? There's no spamming the chat, okay? I've got 11 people watching. I have to make a firm stand. You know, we have to come down hard on these terrorists. We cannot let these terrorists win.
This stop is Madison Avenue and East 101st Street.
Oh boy. Apparently we're gonna to stop at every fucking, every block. Look, Ashley, we're in traffic. What do you want me to do? Teleport there? Just relax, okay? You're not gonna, you know, this is the fastest way I could possibly get there. So let's just enjoy it. Let's just spend time together on the live stream as if I'm there in person, okay? You can literally follow block by block until I get there. So you're literally seeing me. You know, it's not like I'm in fucking Brooklyn, okay? Ashley has got a million fucking Gmail accounts. It's crazy. What do you mean disturb me at work? How are you gonna disturb me? Like, what were you gonna do? You were gonna come there, you're gonna, what? What were you gonna do? Ashley, why can't you just appreciate like what Trisha said? Okay, you're lucky. You're lucky. You know, at least I'm not in. That's an interesting theory. Ashley has some kind of secret YouTube commentator life. You know, I'm not like in Williamsburg or something. You know, I could have just taken the train to fucking Bushwick or something.
Next stop,
So, you know, I'm almost there. You could have stopped by. What the hell do I care? You know, it was a Daniel Berzutsky reading. All I did was read Criterion top 10s the whole time. Okay.
This stop is Madison Avenue and East 106th Street.
Okay, thank you for watching, Trisha. See, Ashley, this is the effect you have on everybody. You just wear everybody out and you scare them. Like,
Next stop, Madison Avenue and East 107th Street. This stop is Madison Avenue and East 107th Street.
it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I'm committed to doing this for 2 hours, okay? That's what's gonna happen. Or like, you know, this used to be Yorktown or something, so I think there was like tenements that went all the way up that they demolished to build. This is like New York City housing. You know, so it's big. It's like punitive. It looks like some kind of like federal fucking incarceration facility.
Sunday is the wedding, but Monday we have to go to
Next stop, East 110th Street and Madison Avenue.
the next week. I gotta get her gift.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on 20% now, so. Here we go. We're about to make a left onto 110th. Ashley, this is all coming together nicely. It'll probably be over right around. Look at this. We're making the left now. We're that much closer to Ashley's house, so we can all relax. I don't know.
Touch yellow tape to open doors. Doors closing.
Next stop, Central Park North and Fifth Avenue.
They don't work like that, right? Yeah. It's like when we go. I was up there, but it's the last weekend. We were almost at some. I'm not gonna go. Remember someone so it is. What up? Have something up. I'm gonna ask you. I don't know if that's something. You're not gonna do that. Ain't going back. I'm gonna get you.
This stop is Central Park North and Fifth Avenue.
Oh yeah. On the phone.
Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Central Park North and Malcolm X Boulevard. Transfers available to the 2 and 3 trains.
Get out of this. I'll be so excited. But when they come home, Kenny number 2. Kenny's like that.
This stop is Central Park North and Malcolm X Boulevard.
I think that's what we did. When? Yeah? Okay. So I used to be there. You're gonna be there my time. Okay, alright, get home. Good night. Okay.
Touch yellow tape to open doors. Doors opening. Doors closing.
Next stop, Central Park North and Adam C. Powell Boulevard. Please exit through the rear door. This stop is Central Park North and Adam C. Powell Boulevard.
Touch yellow tape to open doors. Doors opening.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so, all right. We're almost there, okay? We're on Central Park North in fucking Adam Clayton Powell, so we're just like in the fucking south part of Harlem here. My buddy Jake used to live, I think, on this fucking street. I helped him move over here. He lived back here in like 2015, I think. He paid like $1,000 a month for a room. Out, okay? I'm almost there. I'm just gonna go live until I get to Ashley's house. So I'm just gonna walk to Ashley's house, and that will be the end. And that'll be a nice little bookend to the live stream. Thank you everybody for watching. Once again, we're reading tomorrow at Spoonbill in Williamsburg. If anybody wants to make it out, I mean, not necessarily expecting anybody to be there really, because people are allergic to coming to any of my events. But that's fine. That's why I tape them and put them on YouTube. For the fans, for you guys, for my True, for Bruce Halliday, for Adam S., for Trisha, for Ashley, of course, for the archive, for the aliens, for the alien archive. So yeah, we're on Central Park North here, Friday night. We're live though, so we're protected. You know, anything that happens, you guys witness it, you'll see, and you can report it to the authorities immediately. You can just clip this out and put it on TikTok or whatever. God, okay, is there anything else I need to talk about before I wrap this up? Yeah. Friday night. Ash. Like she can still watch, you know? It's not like I'm like banning her from the fucking like from watching the, she can't like spam the chat with a bunch of like repetitive, you know, like alienating, you know, it's discomforting for people to see that. They're just like, you know, like that Trish lady was super nice. She was watching, she was enjoying it. And then Ashley comes in and it's like, Jesus Christ, you know, make this lady uncomfortable, make her leave. It's like, maybe that's why nobody watches my fucking live stream. Maybe that's why nobody comes to my fucking events. Because they know that Ashley will just like throw some kind of super ugly, bad energy at them. Like, I don't like that. I'm like a fucking prisoner. You know, of like the fact that Ashley doesn't want to share me with anybody else. And, you know, I'm trying to fucking
We're gonna get across the street.
build an online community here. I'm trying to, you know, build my brand, okay? I'm trying to build my brand identity here. I mean, Jesus. I need a job. I need some kind of fucking agency over my own life, you know? What this cost of living crisis, it's like we're being denied agency over our own lives. We can't afford a place to live. You know, 15 years ago, you could find a one-bedroom studio apartment pretty much anywhere for $600 a month or $700 a month. You know, you could get a room on OSU campus for $250 a month. Like, even though it was like a shitty little college house, it's like anybody can pay $250 a month. Anybody can pay $300 a month. Anybody can pay $600 a month. Almost nobody can pay $2,000 a month. Almost nobody can pay, you know, a studio apartment in New York City is $2,000. A room is $1,300. It's like, where the fuck are all of these people finding this money to pay for rooms? There's just one fucking room in Prospect Lethbridge Gardens is $1,300. It's like, what? Because the whole economy is being propped up by like boomer parent money. You know, the boomers still own everything. They still have all the assets. They still have all the wealth. And so that's why people's parents pay their fucking rent, because that money is all locked up. It's like, we don't own any of it. They never gave it to any of us. There's no way to make any fucking money, you know, doing anything ethical. You just have to figure out how to be some kind of appendage of like the big corporate fucking brainwashing fucking complex. My studio is 740. There you go. In a 55 and above community. There you go. You know, if I could get a fucking studio apartment for $740, I probably couldn't afford it, but I would be closer to being able to. I mean, where are you going to get that now? Where in the United States of America are you going to get a studio apartment for $740? Like, that anybody, any place that anybody would want to live. And so, you know, we don't get to develop. We're in this state of arrested development because we can't buy houses, we can't have kids, we can't even get any fucking privacy. We gotta share a shower with 3 other people. We gotta share a refrigerator. They're making noise in the other room. They wake up early for work. They wake you up. You can't sleep. They leave their fucking hair in the shower drain. It's disgusting. I'm introverted, okay? I'm sensitive. I need to live alone. I need my own place. I need a studio apartment in Manhattan for $700 a month. Or cheaper. Make it happen. You know, I think they want to keep it gridlocked, you know? They want to keep this conversation, oh, we can't convert these office buildings to apartments. It's too expensive. It's like, okay, you're